Sir Iain Duncan Smith.
Deputy Speaker, it's a privilege to be able to speak in this debate and to follow the honourable gentleman who I consider a friend. Can I start today by congratulating, I was going to say my right honourable friend, but I should perhaps say my right honourable friend, the member for Athens, as our friend the member for Stone has declined him as a modern Pericles. But he does deserve the full plaudits on this delivery of this trade deal. And he is entitled, I think, to a moment of satisfaction, because despite what all those doomsayers have said perpetually about his process through this, is that he would not achieve a deal. There was no chance of that, and therefore we would have to leave on no deal. But he has defied that, and he has shown us that actually consistency, determination and optimism are key drivers in any negotiation, and I thank him for that. And I also want to thank those who were the negotiators, Lord Frost and others of his team, who have delivered this in the face of quite a lot of difficulty. But for me, it brings to the end a 29-year period when, back at the time of the Maastricht Treaty, and I just entered Parliament, I was faced with the choice of whether I would vote for what I saw as a huge extension of powers from the European, what became the European Union. And I made the mistake, Madam Deputy Speaker, of entering the smoking room to have my honourable friend, the member for Stone, lay his arm upon my shoulder, and my career was ruined thereafter. But I chose directly as a result of those blandishments to vote against Maastricht. I don't regret it, but I do say that it was from that moment onwards that I was certain that the United Kingdom would leave the European Union because it was getting more and more centralised, and it was not what we had joined. I voted to join, and therefore I am pleased now that we have delivered on that, and it is my right honourable friend that has done that. And I say to those who are going to vote against this today, they cannot escape the reality. To be fair to the Leader of the Opposition, he made it very clear that if you vote against this today, you are voting for no deal. You don't have to have it written on a piece of paper, because that would defy any logic that this place is about. So those who are voting against this, I give way to Jonathan.
I don't believe that's the case. We're voting on the merit of the agreement, and the reality, the agreement is introducing a whole layer of extra bureaucracy for citizens and businesses in the UK. It's a charter for red tape.
Well, do you know, I always love colleagues in this place trying to explain their actions, but there comes down to one simple point. We all know in this House, if you defeat an objective, you are left with what was there before. And what is there before, in this case, is no deal. And I'm sorry for him if he thinks that he wants to vote against something because it's wrong. He's voting at the same time, therefore, for the status quo. The status quo is we leave the day after tomorrow with no deal. And there is no escaping that, I'm afraid, no matter what they wish for. And I welcome this deal. It's not perfect. Nobody here is going to say you can get a perfect deal, because there are two sides in this discussion. But it is a huge advance on where we might have been. We take back control of our sovereignty. We are a sovereign nation again. And with that power, we can set our own direction in international as well as domestic relations. And I simply say to those who don't see this, that this is a huge step forward to be able to regain that control. Bringing back the power to this House and this Parliament is what the Prime Minister has achieved. Yes, there are things in this which will need time to develop. Fishing, I accept. We have a better deal now, but 5 years from now, we will have the key opportunity to decide how those waters will be run at our benefit. And I congratulate the Prime Minister for that. And I also want to say, it's very important, we also have the power to reset the environmental running of those waters. Far too long, too many large trawlers have literally destroyed many of our fishing areas. And now I urge my government to start that process literally tomorrow and make sure we bring environmentalism back and control of this to our area. So I want to... no, I can't give way. I beg his pardon on this one. But I want to conclude by simply saying Brexit was never about being anti-European. Brexit is about restoring power to the UK. I love Europe. Half my family have worked in Europe all their working lives. I studied out there. I love its idiosyncrasies. I love its language differences. I love its arts and its culture and its people. But I am British. I am a member of the United Kingdom, and I want to respect them, be their friend. For too long, we moved into the same house with them and we didn't get on. We're now just going to move next door and be good neighbours, good friends and good allies. I congratulate my right honourable friend for bringing this to a conclusion. He deserves the plaudits that he's going to get.